Are you serious? Are you serious? Breaking news, breaking news. We have had a massive solar flare on the sun. An M-class solar flare, a sunspot located just behind the sun's northeastern limb, erupted during the early hours of today, Friday, May the 10th, 2013, producing an M3 class solar flare. Massive. NASA's Solar Dynamics and Dynamics Observatory recorded the explosion's extreme ultraviolet flash. You can actually go watch the movie if you want to. The far side active region will turn toward the Earth in the days ahead. Stay tuned. I want to thank Reverend Gary for getting this email to me with this information. Unbelievable, folks. And this could affect, listen to me, when you have an M-class solar flare, it could, if the CMEs hit directly, it can affect, it can definitely affect power grids, electrical power grids, cell phone towers, satellites, different things in communications that could take place. So we need to keep and which could create major power grid outages, which can affect millions of people. We really have to be careful about this. This was big. Also, information, breaking news out of Bangladesh. First of all, there's now over 1,000 people dead, been pulled from the rubble. Horrific situation in this factory, this skyscraper of factories that has collapsed. Dear Lord. But we've got some good news. Good news. Breaking is good news. A woman has been found alive after 17 days. Rescuers in Bangladesh freed a woman in the buried rubble for 17 days inside a prayer room in the wreckage of a collapsed garment factory building. What? This is awesome. The amazing rescue took place this morning, May the 10th, 2013, as the death toll just went past 1,000. Making it one of the worst industrial tragedies in history. The rescuers discovered the woman Friday in the wreckage of the basement of the building and ordered the cranes and bulldozers to immediately stop work. They used handsaws to cut through the rubble as hundreds of people who had been engaged in the grim job of removing decomposed bodies from the site raised their hands together in prayer. And they began to be so what a miraculous rescue that took place there in Bangladesh. Also, I've got one more piece of breaking news today. We found out, I want to thank Alexi, I want to thank Troy of North Carolina, and I want to thank Nick of New York for this information. Alexi got this to me a moment ago. U.S. Ambassador crossed secretly into Syria and met with the rebel leaders in Syria. U.S. Ambassador to Damascus, Robert Ford, briefly crossed into northern Syria yesterday, May the 9th, 2013, to meet with the opposition leaders. He then crossed back into Turkey. U.S. Secretary of State John F. Kerry, who asked the diplomat to engage the Syrian opposition after he agreed on an international conference for Syria with Moscow, described the meeting as very productive. The U.S. Embassy in Damascus, of course, was suspended operations with America back in February due to the uprising and the full-blown civil war. So these are the situations. We have a major solar flare explosion on the sun. We have a miracle after 1,000 bodies have been pulled from the rubble in Bangladesh. We have a woman that's alive after 17 days buried in the rubble. And John F. Kerry and Russia are going to set up a summit to try to discuss how to bring an end to this Syrian crisis. And at the same time, the U.S. ambassador to Syria went into Syria and met with the opposition leaders. So let's wait and see what develops here. But seriously, something biblical is going on with the signs. of the second coming of Christ. We're seeing there's all types of different events happening, as well as earthquakes from the ring of fire solar flare. And this is what's concerning me about that. But we'll be back to tell you about that in just a minute. We'll be right back. Give your life to Jesus Christ. These are the last days.